Hey guys, welcome back to the shop. It's another beautiful Oregon day here and I am freezing. We're back working on Michael's 1993 Touring. This is tune-up part 2, might be part 3 eventually as we get to some of the other systems like the brakes. But today we're going to focus on changing the filters as we've drained all the fluids and everything out from the last episode. Now, I'm going to take you guys through one of the hardest parts of servicing an FD, which is changing that fuel filter. I'm really not looking forward to it. I don't know how I'm going to capture it on camera, especially with a microphone on there. But we got to get it done. These cars need those filters changed regularly. So let's knock out the easy ones first and take care of that fuel filter last. Let's get started. I went ahead, pulled everything out that I normally would. Oil filter's pretty simple. Got the OEM filter. We're going to try a new tool I got recommended, which is this little 3/8 drive filter cap tool. And we got a backup pair of pliers to pop it out, just in case we need it. For the fuel filter, I got needle nose, standard grip, and some long handle bent. Probably going to use those the most. Finally, for the air filter, we're just going to need this 10 mil over here. It's not too bad. Let's hop over to the car. I'm not going to give you guys a super guided tour of how to change an air filter. It's pretty self-explanatory. There are a couple of tricks you want to know about. First is the bolts on the right-hand side of the box, looking towards the car. And over here, there are 3 hooks all the way along the back here. And the box clamshells like this. So it pivots on this side. You don't want to just go yanking up on this, and the reason I took a couple of these hoses loose is so that when I do kind of position it to pull that filter out, this moves freely. I still need to take this little air snorkel off, but otherwise I've gotten everything, including the air pump, disconnected, and just these easy to reach ones. It's really difficult to get that bottom hose off, and you don't really need to. You can just kind of twist it up and open it this way to slide that air filter in. I'm going to change this filter because I decided I want this car to be as stock as possible, which means we'll come back, we'll switch out this AST, and I'll probably go as far as to making sure that that spring clamp is changed down there on that heater hose, if I remember, or I'm sorry, the constant tension clamp. So let's go ahead and get this air filter swapped out, then we'll get the oil filter done.
Too bad.
Now, when you first buy an FD, there are a couple of tools you might want to consider buying. These bent nose and long reach needle nose are one of the best things that you're going to want, along with just a high quality pair of standard pliers. The Harbor Freight ones of these are what I used for like a decade. They work fine. I was just lucky enough to find these on eBay and I upgraded. But I'm sure someone will notice I found a battery box lid in my stash of parts upstairs. And yeah, it's pretty simple. You know, as long as you remember to pull the hose clamps back on, which I seem to be struggling with today, you'll really commonly find that the hooks on that side of the box are broken. And I've seen people like drill and weld little tabs and stuff that hold it back together. And for a car that I was going to keep for a long time, I would put that work in. But for this, since two of them are still good, I'm just going to leave it. It's really hard to find a box that still has good tabs. So I'm doing the best I can with what I have for right now. So let's get that oil filter changed. Okay, so down here, it's your oil filter. This guy's got some no name on it. And if this is your first time doing this, you might want to just disconnect this hose, take these 4 10s off, disconnect this and pop this elbow out of the way. It really opens up a lot of room to work on this. One of the most common problems I find is this is your map sensor, and people will bump this and the hose will come off because it's old and hard. And then the car won't start, or it will start and die. And it's really kind of funny to fix them, you know, because it's just such a simple plug and go. But I've seen it trip up a number of people. So always check that if you're working in this area. I'm going to see if I can slip this little tool down here. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, that needs to work. We're going to the pliers.
I swear all I had to do was stop filming. So the cool thing about most Rx-7s is if the car's been sitting, there won't be any oil in this. And this thing is definitely sat in here. It's all drained out. You're not going to spill a big puddle under the car, though I have made a liar of myself before. So yeah, there's our no-name filter. Let's go ahead and get the other one on. Great. We're all done under the hood. Oil filter's ready to go. I like writing on them. Just makes it easy for a point of reference the last time it was changed or serviced. We'll go ahead and when we're ready to start the car, we'll go ahead and get that coolant bled off. And I'm still trying to get belts. Again, supplier problems are really messing with me right now. So that brings us to my least favorite part. I'm going to go ahead and grab something I forgot. We're going to want to take the bracket off of the filter so that we can change it. And you're going to need about a setup this long. I'll show you why. The whole assembly kind of mounts through the rear subframe and you have to take the bolts off to get out. Filter itself is a bog standard Wix filter. Nothing special. So let's get some gloves, some eye protection, and I even have a spare shirt out here just in case everything goes wrong. Make sure you got a couple of towels handy. You're gonna need them. Well, this is going to be really fun, trying to show you guys. Fuel filter is hiding right up there. You can just see the fuel line on it, even though it's out of focus. Darn it. And it mounts through the back of the subframe here. Right on top, you'll find the 10s. You can feel them with your fingers. There's 2 of them. I guess I'm just going to go ahead and get you guys set up to watch because I don't think there's any good way to show you anything really else. It's just wedged up in there. So, wish me luck. Well, I'm not sure how well you guys can see this, but I've got this line off. I ended up using this little tool here, which is used for like Ford fuel lines. I just slipped it over the hard line and used it to push against the rubber line to dislodge it. I don't know why I never thought about that years ago, but I'll go ahead, get unbolted now, and hopefully get out there pretty quick. What an absolutely unpleasant job. At least I didn't get fuel running down my arms this time, but I did get in my beard. This filter was already changed once, because some of the work I did years ago. New one, it's identical. You'll find there's 2 little ribs on here. We'll go ahead. Ooh. You know what? Let's get some penetrant on there. That is snug. This one's gonna fight me. I would normally heat something like this up, but I don't think fire is a good idea right now for some reason. Yep. Looks like another Wix filter from 10 years ago. Guess things haven't changed that much. So on the bracket itself, it's got these little ears that stick out, and that's where those indents on the filter go. Pretty simple. I guess I have to blame previous me for tightening it that hard. Yeah, just bring it snug. It doesn't need anything more. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to put a little bit of lubrication on these. I'm going to get this guy right into the trash. But yeah, we'll get these with a little bit of lubricant on them. It'll make everything sliding together easier. We'll get back in the car and I will get to take a shower and get this gas smell off of me. Before I put this guy back down on the ground, got a little drip of coolant coming up here. Everything we did is looking nice and dry. I like that. But I don't know if I can get you guys up there. Bottom of that upper hose has just a little bit of a drip on the thermostat housing. I can't even see if you guys can see. Well, looks like we got a couple of things still to take care of, but you know, That's how it goes on these cars. At least I wanted to change that AST anyway. Well guys, I'm really happy to have that done. Like I said, it's one of the worst parts of servicing these vehicles. Thankfully, everything else, except for maybe those vacuum hoses and a stock downpipe removal, are some of the worst jobs you can do on these cars. It's nice to get them over with. It's just a good part of regular maintenance on these cars. Now, I don't like to see filters older than about 10,000 miles or 5 years. It's good to change them regularly, and if I were keeping a car like this, I'd want to go ahead and maybe look at doing the filter relocation. I should probably do it on a couple of my cars, to be honest. I'm sure they're a little older than they should be, but we'll take care of that in some upcoming episodes. Now, we're going to want to take a look at that coolant leak. It's probably just some more corrosion on the thermostat housing. Switch away from that standard hose clamp to a constant tension or full circle, full wrapped clamp. Nothing we haven't covered previously. Hopefully it's just easy to take care of. Good thing I want to do the AST and take a look at that other hose because coolant's coming back out of this thing. Can't always win them, but you roll with what you got some days. So I think that's going to wrap it up. I've got some supply problems for brakes, so it may be a little bit until we can get back into this. I've got some hawks, like I'm sure you guys saw earlier, but it's not really what I'm trying to do with this car. Really trying to get back to stock. Things like a stock AST, stock fuel, air filter. Just really give this car a good presentation of what it is, which is just a beautiful, clean, stock 93 Rx-7. So we'll see. Hopefully I can get some equivalent pads in, maybe a little less aggressive, and we'll go from there. So thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, let me know. You can always leave a comment, and I'm happy to see what you guys have to say about cars like this. So we'll catch you next time.